What would you say is the number one problem that you solve for all of your clients who are agents and teams?
The number one problem that we solve is, I don't know if I can put it to number one. Number one is giving agents the advanced skill set they need to win in a sales environment, whether it's a lead or in person. Two is the accountability to actually keep doing it.
Okay. So I understand with the giving them the skills, obviously you're teaching them a lot of role playing. There's a lot of just examples and stuff you can share to help them level up. But for the accountability piece, how do you do that?
First, we have to teach the team leaders how to implement and execute consistent accountability. A lot of team leaders never learned that stuff. They just wing it. So we give them best practices, and a lot of times they need to be reminded too. And then from the ground up, I find it to be most effective when you approach a salesperson to remind and empower that salesperson that they're ultimately the ones who are in control of their own little business, right? The accountability, the metrics, paying attention to what they're doing in order to get what they want is solely within their control. And who gives a shit what anybody, who gives a shit who's telling them to do what? If they want to achieve their goals, they need to take control of it.
And is there any software systems that you guys are actually recommending or using on a regular basis to better track and hold these guys accountable? Or is everyone kind of just doing their own thing and it doesn't really matter?
So we had a Google Sheet built for us for the 4 simple metrics that we use for salespeople that just gets them to report daily their contacts made, appointments set, appointments met, and contracts signed. Systems like Sisu are really great for using those for a company for reporting, but that gets farther into the deal reporting, something which is a feature that you have to use in Sisu. Whereas for us, we are the fill the funnel guys, right? We're the front end, keep your pipeline full, win the most number of conversations, set the most number of appointments, and keep doing it repeatedly. So we track those 4 key metrics. That helps us get our clients to move the needle.
So we got to build those into Maverick for you if they're not there already, because
I would love that.
Maverick's all about the top of the funnel, and then Sisu kind of takes over once it gets into transaction phase.
Yeah, that's so we just focus on that front end stuff, right? Super simple. And, I love most of the CRMs out there, but none of them will just give you a simple contact count. How many people did you make a contact with across phone, text, email, DM, doesn't matter. Just that simple number is hard to get.
Yep. Cool. What would you say your average client sort of looks like who comes to you and looking for help?
Yeah, I would say medium to large teams that are looking to improve their accountability, looking to improve their lead conversion. The teams that know that either their agents are very loose about their consistency with touching their leads and converting them, or teams that know they've never had a really strong sales training program in the past, and they want to level up their agents' skills.
And then who would you say is a bad client, is someone you'd probably say no to? It's just not a good fit.
Absentee owners or team leaders who really just want to throw money at the problem and don't want to be involved in improving their teams. Solo agents who don't have a budget for leads or don't have a budget for systems. On the ISA side, almost anybody who wants to hire an ISA and doesn't want to spend the money that's required or the time and energy required to actually build it out. I would say those are the bad clients.
But you also work with ISA teams, training them up, getting them involved, right? Yeah.
I'd say the only other not great client would be a strictly Zillow Flex team. If somebody says, hey, we only do Zillow Flex. We want you to improve our Zillow Flex numbers. There's only so much runway there. You know, it's like an assembly line. You can't really do too much there.
Got it. Got it. And can you give me an example of, you know, like a case study or success story or someone you've worked with recently and just sort of how that looked like from the time you went in, like, was it a quick turnaround? What are the sort of the expectations timeline wise, and what can things look like after the fact?
Yeah, so actually we just did a program with Power Real Estate, right? You know those guys. Um, so we did a program with them. They took some of their newer agents and they put them into training with us. And within the first less than 6 months, those new agents were putting up 2 deals a piece each per month, and taking high dollar listings within the first 6 months of working with us. And that's a much faster ramp up time than what they've ever experienced with any other agents before. And so now we're actually training their internal team managers, because they have several teams and they have a manager for each team. And so we're training those managers how to run their individual respective sales teams.
Perfect, perfect. And then, so last two questions, probably the most important ones. What does it cost? And how can people get hold of you?
Sure. Team training ranges between $1,700 a month to $2,000 a month, to have a trainer work specifically with your team. And it just depends on the size of the team that we're working with. We also do have options for solo agents, or if you're a small team and you just have 1 or 2 people that you need training for. And then best way to get in touch with me would be Dale@smartsalescoaching.com.
And the team training, how you, I mean, you're not just throwing videos at these guys and saying, watch all of this stuff, right? There's a lot of one-on-one type stuff. What does that roughly look like?
It is. So we deliver all of our training. We do have a video platform as a supplement to ramp people up called Conversion University. But really what we deliver and what people are mostly paying for is live interactive Zoom training each week. So if we place a trainer with your team, you meet with that trainer the same day and time each week for almost an hour. In between that, twice daily, we have supplemental live classes also taught by our trainers, where all of our clients can come they can come to 1 or 2 a day, up to 10 a week, to do additional reinforcement and practice. So we function like live in-person sales trainers. We just do it over Zoom.
Perfect, perfect. And there's normally like a set time frame where they work with you, and then they're on their own. You say, checked all the boxes, you guys are good to go. I mean, and what does that normally look like? Obviously it depends on them, right? And how willing they are to actually learn and implement. But on average, what would you say that looks like?
So when a team first starts with us to learn and implement all of our strategies and techniques, and so that we can have call review sessions in between the training with the team to make sure that they're getting the reinforcement and they're getting these techniques and using them, we usually run that in a 24 session cadence initially. So that takes about 6 months to run the full program with a team. At that point, a team either stays on because they want to continue practicing and honing their skills. Usually on average, a team will stay with us between 1 year to 2 years. Sometimes a team gets their first, 24 sessions, they get through the material and they're good. They're like, okay, we're great. We're happy with the improvement, the lift that we've gotten here. And then some people want, a lot of people want to stick around longer and just keep improving their skills.